Aotearoa. It all begins here. It all begins with you. It all begins with PlantPass. PlantPass is and more. It's a commitment to practices that protect our industries, finding and eliminating hazards before they spread. You're proud of the work you do. The plants you what we love and what we do starts with good biosecurity. That what you sell is healthy and safe. The crops we grow and the plants we love. PlantPass.nz.
Okay, so PlantPass is about strengthening, growing nursery and its supply chain biosecurity risk management. In doing so, it protects plant producers, nurseries and their customers and the environment and economy from pests and pathogens. It's a systematic framework that builds on current nursery practice and builds on nursery practice and lessens the likelihood of a nursery becoming infected by a pest and that pest in turn being spread onto the customers and into the environment. And nurseries and others are then facilitated if indeed they find themselves caught up in a pest incursion. Just excuse me, I just have to shift something that's on my screen. Got it. As I noted before, it's a systematic approach designed to keep pests out of a nursery, prevent them spreading through the nursery and its production systems, and out with nursery stock that is sent to customers and into the receiving environments. It builds on existing producer expertise and practice. It's a certification system that's based upon how plants are produced, not necessarily how they look at the time of a single inspection. Plant producers who achieve certification demonstrate that they have systems that are designed to minimize risk and manage hazards, and that the plants they supply to their customers are being raised under conditions which minimize the likelihood of a spread of a pest. More importantly, and perhaps overall, it grows and protects supply chain resilience, trust, and the industries and individuals licensed to operate. It grew out of the myrtle rust response, and during that process, a lot of people realised that the likelihood of a pest being found in a nursery first is incredibly high. Conditions in a nursery are ideal for pests to establish. Nursery staff are close to their stock, close to their plants, and you know there's a good chance they'll find them first. Now that presents both an opportunity in that we've got nurseries are an important component of the biosecurity system and enabling us to detect a pest early. At the same time, it also represents a risk, and that nurseries can spread their stock all over New Zealand over a matter of days, and with them any pest and pathogens hazards. So we're at the front line. The chances are that a pest will be discovered first in a nursery and could very well be spread with nursery stock. One of the classic examples of such a spread is with sudden oak death. It was first detected in California forests in the mid-1990s, and in 2004 was spread on rhododendrons, which were not showing symptoms, from the 2 West Coast nurseries to other nurseries and garden centres right through the United States. The map on the centre right shows just how quickly and rapidly that was. Now, sudden oak death is still being discovered in nurseries and in restoration plantings, for example, in the States. It could readily establish in New Zealand and can harm plants that are part of our urban and natural environments. It impacts 75 plus host species. So, you know, the potential for many of our natives to be affected is very real. Xylella is another case where nursery stock is one of the pathways by which it could be spread. It's well known through the Northern Hemisphere and in some of the production sectors such as grapevines, almonds, alfalfa, citrus. It attacks 70 plus families, 350 plus plant species. It's a very real threat to us. While it's not in New Zealand, it could readily get here. MPI have very strong regulations in terms of plant imports designed to keep us free of this particular pest. PSA and kiwifruit is believed to be spread in terms of spread in the long distance means through infected plant material. And this slide shows how it spread over a period of 3 seasons, from first being detected in Te Puke to being right through the Bay of Plenty and the Waikato. So PlantPass is a voluntary biosecurity scheme designed to help producers control, manage and avoid biosecurity risk. It's a single system that recognises the complexity and diversity among plant producers. It's an end-to-end risk management from nursery inputs through to plants that get sent to buyers and into their planting environments. It provides a one-stop system for producers to meet their biosecurity requirements and the expectation of those buyers. It forms a framework for customers to meet the regulatory requirements for good biosecurity practice, and it's supported by third-party audit. And PlantPass works with those producers from registration through to audit and onto their certification. The outcomes are increased plant producer responsiveness to managing the risk, strengthen hygiene measures in nurseries and pest risk management, strengthen traceability, and that in turn helps recovery during and after an incursion. And it recognises that many nurseries do this, at least intuitively, at best systematically. It's HACCP-based, whereby nurseries are asked to identify hazards, implement control measures, monitor crops, and undertake a process of continuous improvement. It's documented. We ask nurseries to record processes and outcomes of their inspections and their crop monitoring. So it's measurable and repeatable. It scales, and so it's flexible and scaled to nursery size and production complexity. The smaller the quantum of risk, however you might measure that, the more simple or the less complex these set of procedures and the measures that a nursery is required to undertake. And importantly, it establishes certified plant producers as trusted suppliers. It's supported by the Plant Buyers Accord, whereby we ask people who are making purchasing decisions and who might influence purchasing decisions to recognise and support those nurseries who join the scheme. And signatories to the Plant Buyers Accord commit to a graduated process over a period of time, chosen by themselves to suit their own environment and their own relationship with producers. But for example, they might recommend their suppliers, their nurseries, join PlantPass. They may give preference to PlantPass producers who are registered or certified. They may specify PlantPass producers in contracts, and in the longer term, they might predominantly purchase from PlantPass producers. When a buyer or an influencer joins The Plant Buyers Accord. They develop action plans to effect commitments within 3 months of signing the accord, and then they share that plan with other signatories and plant producers so as to encourage others to be involved and in turn to recognise their own achievements. And the Plant Buyers Accord is currently signed by MPI, Department of Conservation, New Zealand Avocados, Kiwi Fruit Vine Health, and Auckland Council, with others who are actively considering their involvement. PlantPass have been developed under a GIA partnership. Work began in 2017 with support from a wide range of stakeholders throughout the plants industries, MPI, DOC, regional councils, and other industry bodies. Through 2018 to 2021, people worked to grow PlantPass and develop the program. And it's established under the GIA, which is the Government Industry Agreement for Biosecurity Readiness and Response, with NZPPI, which being contracted as the scheme manager. As of last week, we had 43 nurseries in the scheme, 10 of whom are certified and supported by 6 PlantPass Accord signatories. Our next steps include supporting producers as they prepare for audit. We've got awareness campaigns underway through retail and revegetation supply chains. We are working on a group scheme protocol whereby smaller nurseries may be able to aggregate under a sponsoring body to assist them grow into the scheme. And we're working with the Kauri Protection team on the National Protection Management Plan. For producers who have joined us today, your next step is to join PlantPass and register and join us at a workshop during July. For those of you on the call who are either plant buyers or may influence purchasing decisions, give us a call so we can point you in the right direction to join and consider the Plant Buyers Accord.